Hi, my name is Chantel Corey, and I'm the Executive Director of Midwest Mission. We are a Christian nonprofit organization founded by the United Methodist Church that works to show God's love in a practical way to those in need in their time of crisis. Our mission is to bring the hearts and hands of God's people together to transform resources into humanitarian aid in times of crisis internationally and in the United States. We send disaster relief, health, education, and micro-business supplies that are given freely through trusted nonprofit partners. Around the world and around the corner, people are lacking simple resources that can improve their circumstances. That's why Midwest Mission sends tangible resources to make an intangible difference in their lives through hope and empowerment.
We have a process for how we do what we do. First, partners. All our work is done in partnership with trusted nonprofits. Partners help us understand what the current needs are. Then donations. We ask our supporters for monetary and in-kind donations to fill the needs our partners have shared with us. After we have the donations, we need volunteers. Volunteers process, revitalize, and assemble the donated items, both here at Midwest Mission and around the country. Then distribution happens. Donations are given to trusted nonprofits to distribute to those in need. Finally, we follow up. The nonprofits must give us reports about where the items went, share stories about the impact of the items, and send pictures of the items being distributed. In 2022, Midwest Mission reached over 1.6 million individuals in need and sent $7.99 million worth of humanitarian aid. For every dollar spent, we sent out $7.85 in supplies. We sent 299 domestic shipments and 48 international shipments. But the work that is accomplished here at Midwest Mission couldn't be done without our dedicated volunteers and donors.
Midwest Mission focuses in 4 major areas, disaster relief being one of those, and the one we are known most for. In 2022, we responded to 15 disasters in the United States and abroad. Disasters continue to become more frequent and more devastating, but that's why we are always working to be ready to respond. That way, when the call comes in, we are going to respond within 24 hours if asked to in the United States. We always work, though, to make sure to ask what's needed during a disaster. We never assume what's needed. When a disaster happens, the people involved in that disaster own that disaster. They know what's best for them and their communities and what resources are still needed and what have already been supplied. So that's why it's so important for us to always have great working relationships with our partners so we can serve them best during times of disaster. You can see here all the ways that Midwest Mission responded to disaster in 2022. Through our kits, our tarps, our tools, and many other projects that we work towards to help respond during times of disaster. Things continually change as we continue to find gaps in services where other organizations are not responding. That's why you'll see us rolling out the new bed pack in 2023, as that was a common request for us in the last 2 years. As many of you know, Florida had a big hurricane in 2022. We sent 2 semi-loads full of supplies down. They were not our typical things that we send, but the request came in for generators and baby diapers. So the money you sent us, we went out, purchased those supplies, and got that into Florida and to the organizations that were helping the people on the ground. Midwest Mission is one of 7 UMCOR relief supply depots. We work together to coordinate resources and respond to disaster around the United States. UMCOR kits only go in the United States and in response to disaster. So how do all these United Methodist organizations work together? UMCOR is the funding organization. They send money when requested after a disaster. The UMCOR Relief Supply Network is where the supplies come from when we're helping disasters in the United States. The next, during that relief phase, comes in our ERT teams that are trained by UMCOR and your local conferences that come and help muck out houses or listen to people after a disaster. During the recovery phase is where our United Methodist volunteers in mission come in to help people rebuild homes and rebuild communities after disaster. In 2022, we were very busy with international disaster relief. Ukraine was in a war, and I never imagined that we would be helping a country during a time of war. But we received a call from one of our long-term partners asking us to get involved and help Ukraine. The request came in because they were needing food, and they knew that we had a rice meal pack that we did. Well, us as an organization who never wants to push things on people, we asked them if that was the type of food they needed and waited to hear back to make sure that that was something that would fit in the diet of the people in the country. But with our rice meal pack being so highly nutritious, they chose that as the meal that they wanted us to focus on. We got the request and asked us to send an entire container full of rice meals in 3 weeks' time. Not a problem. We only needed to raise $48,000 and pack 48,000 meals in 3 weeks' time. Well, just as always, our staff and volunteers, when asked upon, jump into action. And within that time, we were able to get that shipment ready and on its way to Ukraine. It was received by another nonprofit organization in country, and then many other nonprofits came to that organization to get them in smaller batches and get them out inside the country and to refugees who had moved over into Poland. We sent out over 8 containers to Ukraine last year and will continue to support them in the year to come as the recovery process for this has not even begun. So remember, disaster relief is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and we are there to help our partners continue to recover even after the initial disaster. One of our other major areas we focus in is health. Health is a basic human need and is one of the building blocks you need to have in place in order to be successful in life and have a fulfilling life. Our rice meals, our medical supplies and equipment are just one of the many ways in which we respond and help people improve their health in countries around the world. The medical supplies and equipment that you're holding onto for someday, be it a walker you no longer need or a wheelchair or that orthopedic boot, people in other countries don't have access to any. So stop holding on to those supplies because that you might need them someday, because so many people need them today and they don't have access to more and you do. So make sure to get those into Midwest Mission or one of our many permanent or temporary collection sites that are happening just in your state. This is the many ways we responded to health in 2022, because when somebody's health is in jeopardy, everything else is. We partner with Food for the Poor to work in a specialized area called our Angels of Hope program. This program services 10 orphanages and group homes in Latin American and Caribbean countries. We've worked them to develop containers that are specific to the needs of those organizations. They've requested our personal dignity kit and a home care kit we've created just for them so they can have cleaning supplies in their facilities. One of them services children with special needs, and they report doing over 1,500 pounds of laundry each month. So laundry detergent, something we often take for granted in the United States, is a need that can help so many people in these orphanages and group homes. My favorite quote came from a sister who received personal dignity kit items and cleaning supplies for their home. And she said, "Oh, the aroma is so much better after we have the children using the hygiene products and we were able to engage them and show them how to clean their environment." Education is one of those other key areas people need to have in place in their life to get themselves more self-sufficient. We send out student kits that are full of supplies for children of all ages to use. We also make desks out of reclaimed bleacher wood that comes out of schools and then is turned into desks here at Midwest Mission. It's a very labor-intensive process, but when a student is able to sit at a desk instead of sitting on the ground or standing in place, that increases their ability to learn drastically. And we believe in these students and their potential and want to do anything we can to help empower them, to help them have a brighter future. Microbusiness is the last area that we work in, and that's where we take bicycles and sewing machines. We have shops here where people refurbish them and give them a brand new life and send them out to people in developing countries and in the United States. Bicycles help break down that barrier, which is transportation, which many people face. During COVID, so many people in the United States no longer could ride buses, and we gave out many bikes here to still get them to work. In developing countries, it can make the difference between having a business or not having a business, being able to get to a job, education, or healthcare in a more feasible way. And sewing machines are given out, usually to nonprofits that teach women how to sew and give them an occupation where they don't have many choices in these countries. Volunteers at Midwest Mission repair electric and treadle sewing machines so they can be sent out to developing countries. We've also had a large influx of refugees in the United States that continue to like to wear garments that are typical of what they would be doing in their home country. So we've given out many electric machines also in the United States. We're in need of these machines and would love for you to get them to Midwest Mission or one of our collection sites so we can continue to give people a hand up in this world and let them work to supply for themselves and their families.
You can volunteer at Midwest Mission. Serving at Midwest Mission is a great way to have a missional experience and impact lives internationally right from the Midwest. Our volunteers are the heart and soul of what we do here, and we always love bringing new people into our family. We welcome both teams and individuals to serve with us for a day, a week, or anything in between. To volunteer, you must make a reservation in advance. You can do that by going to midwestmission.org/@MidwestMission. You can be the hands and feet of Jesus from anywhere. We can't always travel and serve, but we can always serve right where we are. Whether serving for Midwest Mission or for a local organization, we want you to experience the joy that comes from serving. Distance should not be an obstacle. Here are 3 examples of ways you can serve Midwest Mission from home. First, you could make homemade items for Midwest Mission kits. Second, you can make completed kits. Third, you can collect or buy items that are needed and donate them to Midwest Mission. To learn more about serving at home, go to midwestmission.org/@home.
We understand not everyone can travel to Midwest Mission. That's why we offer off-site events where Midwest Mission comes to you. Off-site mission events connect congregations, grow teams closer together, and deepen discipleship, just like going on a mission trip. Hosting an off-site event creates a space where community is shared and memories are made, all while actively being the hands and feet of Jesus. There are 3 off-site opportunities: rice meal pack, personal dignity kit assembly, and student kit assembly. If you're interested, go to midwestmission.org/offsite to learn more.
You can help us meet needs around the world and around the corner. By collecting and donating items, you're helping us quickly replenish supplies so we can get more things in the hands of people who need them. You can hold a collection at your church, home, or organization. You can buy items at the store or from our online shopping list and get them to Midwest Mission, or make a monetary donation to help buy supplies. Learn more at midwestmission.org/collect-donate.
There are several ways you can get involved in our mission. First, we need your prayer. We're an organization that operates on faith and it's fueled by prayer. Each Midwest Mission kit includes a prayer card. You can pray for Midwest Mission, the people we serve, and the people who serve with us. Second, you can serve with us. There is no joy like the joy of serving. Go to midwestmission.org/get-involved to see how you can start serving with us. You can also give. We rely on monetary and in-kind donations to do the work we do here. We are almost completely funded by donations. You can give a monetary donation online at midwestmission.org/donate. Finally, you can connect with us no matter where you are. You can follow us on social media, and you can join our weekly newsletter. You get the bad news the whole week. By joining our newsletter, you can get the God news each Friday and start your weekend off right. We are grateful that we have the opportunity to show God's love in a practical way around the world and around the corner.